All right. Let's just get into it. Hello again. We just got a crystal star. We ended the chapter, and now we gotta go back to the 1,000-year door. You know, Mario, I just realized we found a crystal star, but not Princess Peach. Where do you think she went? I hope she's alright. She's probably dead. Hey, are you okay? You're totally shaking. Do you need do you need a bathroom? So yeah, they have a little the notification song is from Mario 3? No, that's Super Mario World. Right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. It's been a while, but I got an email. My dearest Mario, I send this letter in the hope that it reaches you safely. I am being held against my will in some strange place. Though I do not know where I am, I remain unharmed and in relative comfort. They even gave me a shower. Those who have captured me seem to be after the map I sent you earlier. They may be hoping to use it to find objects they call the crystal stars. I do not know what they are planning, but I have a feeling it is not anything positive. They may be aware that you have the map. Oh, okay. They may be aware. She's just avoiding the fact that she literally gave away his name to them. Like, oh, Mario. Oh, this Mario, you say? Like, uh-oh. She's just hiding that she gave away that information. Oh, they may know that you have the map. I didn't tell them. I don't know who did. So please be very careful. And please, don't worry about me. Princess Peach. Princess Toadstool Peach. Wow. Wait a second. Isn't that from Princess Peach? The princess? The Toadstool? So that means she's okay. For the moment, anyway. But that's better than not knowing, right? It was pretty useless information. She could have done better. Just reviewing the email. Anyway. And now we know another thing. Whoever kidnapped her is also after the crystal stars. We should get back to Rogueport and start searching for the next crystal star pronto. Alright. So, I want to take the time to talk about something I watched recently. The newest episode of the YouTube show Helluva Boss. I watched it. It's called Full Moon. So I don't know if you're interested in watching that show and you haven't seen this episode, you know, maybe skip this part. I don't know, but anyway, I watched it and I gotta say, this show, there's a lot of like writing problems with Helluva Boss, and of course, by extension, Has Been Hotel. Also, I still like these shows, but I acknowledge that a lot of the time the writing isn't very good, and a lot of the episodes Especially Helluva Boss. That show has at least one writing problem in every single episode, I think. At least, you know. From what I remember. There's one episode that I think is actually really, really good. But we'll talk about that later. This time, we're talking about the newest episode, which isn't... Which, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good... I don't know. I wouldn't say overall it's a good episode, because there's a lot of stuff in the episode I think they could have done a lot better. I think my main problem, though, that I'm like... I've watched it a couple times now so that I can get my thoughts straight on it. And I think a lot of the problem here is that I think the show and the writers and the creator are a bit too forgiving of Stolas. Of what he what he does. Because like the whole point of again, this is gonna sound like nonsense if you've never watched this show before. So I'm just warning you now. You could skip this part if you want. But like with Blitz and Stolas's relationship is entirely transactional. They have a thing. I'm gonna try my hardest to explain if you don't know, so I don't know. So they have a thing. Helluva Boss is about a bunch of demon imps from hell, and they have a business where they go to the human world, they go to the surface world, and assassinate people. So like there will be other demons and like sinners who end up in hell who hire them to be like, hey, I knew this guy or whoever as a human and I want them dead. And like that's their job. Which is a cool concept. You know, I won't lie about that. But and in order to do that, they establish this relationship between the main character Blitz and this other character named Stolas. Stolas is a royal. He's like, he comes from a royal family in hell. They're like owl demons or whatever. I don't know the entire lore of that stuff, but his job requires going to the surface sometimes. I actually don't like remember what his job specifically is. It has to do with like space and the cosmos and like you know, cosmic stuff. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. But so Stolas's job requires him to go to the surface sometimes, and he has this book, this grimoire, if you will, this magical grimoire. And at first, Blitz stole the book from him so that he can go to the surface, because he can't willingly, like, he can't go to the surface without something. Like, he can't open a portal there unless he has something like that grimoire. Which he does not have inherently, so he needs to... He stole it, but then they, like, have a thing where Stolas... By the way, Stolas is the one who proposes this idea. Just keep that in mind. He proposes that they do this thing where Stolas gives Blitz the grimoire so that he can do his job. Like every single day of the month, pretty much, except for when it's a full moon. Whenever there's a full moon, that's when Stolas needs his book back. For whatever job he has. He only needs to do it, like, one night a month, I guess. So every full moon, he has to bring the grimoire back. And they also have to have sex, essentially. They just have to go out, and they just go at it. For just one night of the month. And they have a thing. Oh, I can go in here now. They have a thing where I'll do that later. Maybe? No. They have a thing where Stolas has like So yeah, Stolas has a I don't remember what his job is specifically, but he only needs it to do it one night a month, I guess. And then and Blitz, he needs the book the rest of the time. And they have this deal where they have to have sex that one night a year. I mean, not a year, a month. And and they have a thing, and that's like the setup, pretty much. There we go. I knew I missed it. It's like, oh yeah, there's a thing back here. There we go. So yeah, they established this early on in the show. In this episode, this is the culmination of all of this stuff that that was going on in the actual plot here. So like what happens is Stolas actually, again, spoiler alert for the series if you want to watch it, but I guess. But Stolas has like a thing where he actually genuinely likes Blitz. And Blitz just thinks this is just, you know, all about them having sex. And like that's what the relationship is to him. And that's all it is. Oh, what? What? I didn't know there was a hidden block there. What? I think that's the first time I've ever discovered that. Oh my god. Well, anyway, wow, that was really dumb. Ugh. My god, why is the timing not good? I was gonna use that, whatever. Who cares? Anyway. So Blitz doesn't know, but, but Stolas actually does, like, care about him genuinely, and, like, has feelings for him. And, Blitz does not. He does not have, wow. Are you serious? Wow, okay. I didn't need to buy it after all. I can't believe that. Oh well. I could sell it for money, I guess. I never knew this was here. Like, ever in my life. Maybe this is, I don't know, maybe it's new, but like, I doubt that. It was probably there in the first game, in the original, I mean. Whatever. Anyway, oh, sorry about that. I think I peaked the audio for a second there. Anyway, so yeah, there's a whole thing where this is the episode where Stolas finally tells Blitz his true feelings and, like, frees him from this contractual, relationship that they have. He gives him, like, this item, this magical item that will make it so he can actually, this magical item that can allow Blitz to open a portal to the surface world in a legal way, in a way that doesn't involve him taking the book. So he no longer needs the grimoire. He no longer has to do this deal that they have. You know? Ooh. At one point I'm gonna have to do this. It's the pit of 100 trials, but it's gonna be a whole ordeal there. Anyway, so yeah, they have a whole thing where this is the episode that they're finally gonna just, like, talk about it. And, oh wow. Cool. Anyway, they have a whole thing. This is, like, the episode where they finally get to it, you know? Where he finally tells him his true feelings and all that. And, did not go well. Did not go well for the characters, for both of them. Blitz blows up at him. Which, by the way, I will say, just to praise the episode before I, you know, crap on it. I really, really like the acting in that scene where Blitz blows up at Stolas. It was great. The voice acting. Like, he genuinely sounds hurt and, like, upset and angry. So I will say that. That was probably the best part of the episode. But there's just a whole thing where okay, you know what? I'm gonna just continue the game right here, and then after we get some exposition and all that, I'll continue what I'm saying, if I can remember, hopefully. We're talking about Stolas. But I'm just gonna get through this first. Okay, Mario, you ready? Hold that crystal star up. I'll get to it. I'll discuss my issues with the episode. I just want to get through this first. It's mostly about how Stolas reacts in that scene. I think, I don't think there was enough on the side of Blitz here. I think the episode and the writing wasn't as fair to the character of Blitz, you know what I mean? I mean, hopefully that makes sense. Oh, okay, whatever. My PC needs an update. That's what that notification was, but it can wait. It can wait. The location of a crystal star has been recorded on on your magical map. Oh, check it out, Mario. The location of the next crystal star has appeared. But I have no idea where that is. Okay. I mean, that's the proper response. He just gives her a thumbs up. She's like, okay. I guess we gotta show the map to Professor Frankly. My god, the music is so funny. I don't know why I found that funny. It was just good. Alright. I see. Crystal clear. Yeah, great pun. Come on, where's the next crystal star, Professor? It's in the Barkley Woods. The second crystal star is inside a great tree there. A great tree in the Bogley Woods? Okay. About those woods, I think some odd creatures live there. If memory serves, there's a pipe beneath town that leads to those woods. By the way, Professor, about Princess Peach. Not long ago, Mario received an email from her. It said that the people who kidnapped her are also looking for the crystal stars. Oh, and the worst part, she said that she doesn't even know where she is. Uh-oh. Oopsie doodle. The Princess Peach's... Wait. Oh my god. If Princess Peach's kidnappers are also looking for the crystal stars, what could they hope to achieve? Could the treasure be... too many unknowns. Unfortunately, the only clues we can rely on are the crystal stars in that map. Then we'll head for Bogley Woods to find the next crystal star. Let's do it. Yes. I recommend you do just that. Try to find it before the princess's captors. Whatever their ultimate goal is, it can't be good. But don't be hasty. If you're low on items or health, drop by the shop and inn first. I'm sponsored by them, so I get a little bit of that kickback if you buy some stuff there. I'll keep researching to learn more about the crystal stars and the ancient treasure. All right. Okay. Oh my god. Dear Mario, thank you for shopping at the Toad Bros Bazaar. We're writing to let you know that the contact lens you ordered is now available to pick up at our shop. Really? Assuming you can still see well enough to read this email, please stop by at your my god, please stop by at our earliest convenience, okay? I mean, that would be that would still make sense. I mean, you can't go there when the store's closed, right? Yeah, here he is. The best character. Well, hey, big brother. Fancy meeting you here. What a coinky dink. Oh god. Eh? What am I up to? Well, bro, I'm on an adventure. I have to rescue Princess Eclair of the Waffle Kingdom. Oh my god. Oh no. Yeah, it's a bad scene, alright. She's been kidnapped by the evil Chestnut King. If you gotta know, I met with some Waffle Kingdom cabinet members the other day. It was pretty intense, bro. Wanna hear what happened? It's a long story. I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna stop. No thanks. Not right now. We'll get to that at a later date. If you want to hear what I've been up to, just come find me, okay? I'll be around. So I want to do this first because I have enough to power up one of my partners. Welcome to the home of Merlin, the super magician. I foresaw your arrival. Oh, of course you did. I can aid you, if you wish. With three shine sprites, I can power up your partners. Of course, that means I boost their attack power, but I also throw in a new move for free. So, which partner would you like me to power up? See, don't fall for that for free garbage. You're still paying for that. It's of no extra cost. Okay? Like, technically you're still paying for it. You're paying 3 shine sprites to upgrade your party members. I'm gonna do her first. Just because she probably needs it a little bit more than Koops. Shazubi. Wait, Shazibi. Shazubi. But yeah, it's... They throw that in just to act like it's a better deal. Like, oh, at no extra cost. Like, I'll throw this in for free, but it's like, technically it's not free, because you're still paying to do it. You know, it's just at no extra cost. But anyway, forgot what I was saying before that. Okay, so the thing about Stolas, I think the show, and, you know, by extension, the writers and the creator, and even a lot of the audience, too, who likes the show, Helluva Boss, I think they're too forgiving of Stolas. I think they're too much on the side of Stolas. In that, oh. Hey, valued customer, your contact lens is in. Please drop by our shop. I don't remember them having the contact lens in this early in the game. I thought the, I don't know. I thought it would be a while, because I don't need to go over there right now. On the east side of the town. This guy. Hey yo. I've got all the hottest new products right here. Look no further. Okay. No, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the badge that I want. Well, that is interesting. Increases a hammer attack by 1, but lose the ability to jump. That's crazy. So yeah, Ooh. This is basically like a hard mode badge. It costs 0 BP. Because it's just a detriment to you. It doubles the damage Mario takes from enemies. If you want the game to be super hard, I mean, or at least harder, what? No more shopping. Sorry to hear that, my man. This is a limited time offer. So yeah, he changes his stock every now and then. And there's a specific badge that I want from him, but he doesn't have it right now. Hooktail of Petal Meadows, defeated by Brave Hero. Must have been a tough guy. So yeah, this board here, this bulletin board, gets updated after every chapter, I think. Graffiti Corner, and also the Graffiti Corner gets updated too. While looking for badges in Hooktail's castle, I ran into a spiffy mustached fellow. The heart-stealing thief. What? I got Phantom Thieves in this? The Phantom Thieves from Persona 5 are in this game somewhere? No, I know who it is. I know who wrote that. And you probably should too. So yeah, anyway, Stolas. I just think that it could have been a little bit more okay, so in the episode when Blitz has his little blow up at Stolas for so yeah, wait, before that, you know, she looks familiar. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to look around. That's the badge manager at the lovely Houses of Badges. For a manager, she sure is gone from the store a lot. Where do you think she goes? This shop's small, but it's totally adorable. She really knows how to decorate. So yeah, that's a character we've run into now. Hopefully you can figure it out. I don't have to spoon feed you as an audience, you know? So yeah, I think, I just think, there's a little bit of a thing there. Hang on. Did you bring me my contact lens, Mr. Squishy? Oh, sweet relief. Thank you. Finally, the world is crisp and clear again. I can see. I'm so happy. Be careful from now on. People don't generally like having their stuff stomped on. So anyway, in the blow-up that he has with Stolas, he mentions that, like, that it's crazy for you know, the royals in hell always look down on imps and, like, the people below them, and is lumping Stolas in that same group. And then Stolas has a thing where he's like, I think so highly. He says, this is the line from the show. He says, I think so highly of you, Blitz. I just didn't think you'd, what is it that he said? I didn't think you felt, thought so low of me. As he, like, you know, tears up. And he, and then finally, you know, Blitz is about to be like, he reaches out to him and he sounds like he's about to say, Stolas, wait, I'm sorry. But he's cut off because Stolas, like, teleports him outside of his house, or his, you know, palace or castle, whatever it is. his mansion. You know. It's weird that I'm over here now. I didn't know you can come here this early, because I don't need to come here. I don't know if they changed that from the original, or if I just never checked, because they didn't give you... They don't give you an email to be like, hey, the contact lens is in the original. You just have to keep checking the store. But, I don't know. So anyway, what else? So they have that moment, and I'm like, but Blitz is kind of in the right, though. Like, he has a point. And that's what I'm saying about, like, the show is too on the side of Stolas, because we're clearly supposed to be like, no, Blitz, he doesn't really feel that way. But from Blitz's perspective, that's what it seems like. You know? Like, it makes sense from Blitz's perspective, because this whole relationship that they've had this whole time was just a transactional thing. That Stolas, I will remind you, was the one who proposed this transactional relationship that they have. Like, they have a whole thing about it. Literally every... Okay, so wait. I will say, when Stolas gives him the crystal gem thingy... No, not the crystal gem. You know, yeah, that's from Steven Universe. The gem thingy. The magical thing that allows him to use... to open up portals to the human realm. Without the use of a grimoire or anything. He doesn't need that. He doesn't need it now, you know? So when he's presenting him with that gem thingy, he's like, yeah, you no longer have to, he's telling him, like, yeah, you don't have to be in this transactional relationship anymore. You don't have to, like, because it was wrong in the first place to do it. Because it is, of course. It is a toxic relationship that they had. There was a whole thing about that. But, and, of course, Blitz, at first, thinks it's just like a roleplay scenario. He's like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, you're... Like, this isn't for real. This is like some weird roleplay going on. So he tries to play along with the roleplay, and he's like, oh, Stolas, I'm madly in love with you. You know, like, kind of mocking the situation, but he thinks it's like a roleplay scenario, because he was there to have sex with them. That's what he was expecting. The episode's called Full Moon, and this is like the night he's supposed to go there. Like, the deal was every full moon, come back for that. You know? And, it's like a whole thing. And they have like, there's like, there's a whole thing where he's trying to be like, yeah, Stolas is trying to, you know, tell him how he feels. See, now she does more damage, which is way better. She could do up to 4 damage now. Um, so yeah, Stolas is putting his heart on his sleeves, basically, and Stolas isn't taking it seriously, because of course he isn't. And Stolas has like a whole thing where he's like, oh well, I guess that's it then. And it's like I'm I hope your business goes well. Basically, it's just like, okay, that's it then. That's what it is. And then and, you know, he's confused, Blitz is confused, and he's like, well, I understand what's going on here. Like, I've got my answer, basically. If you if your reaction to me putting my heart on my sleeves here is just like, hey, this is just about sex the whole time, then I understand that that's all this was to you. You know, like, that's sort of his mentality in this scene, where it's with Stolas at least. His mentality is, I put my heart on my sleeves and you thought it was just about sex. Therefore, like, that's it then, I guess. The relationship is over then. And that's when Blitz kind of blows up at him. And it's like, wait a second. And it's like... And this is when things get a little weird for me. Because, like, of course Blitz thinks that this is a sex thing. That has been the deal since they started doing this. Every single time that they do it, I mean, that's all it's been about. At least, again, from Blitz's perspective, that's all this was. Not to mention, of course, that, like, Blitz has, like, a whole thing where he hates himself and is scared of commitment in a relationship because he doesn't want to lose people, so he pushes people away because he thinks that they're just gonna disappoint him and leave anyway. So there's that too, but of course Stolas doesn't, like, know that, so that's fine. That I don't have a problem with. But, like, I don't like the line of Stolas being like, oh, you think this is all just about sex, therefore that's it. Like, the relationship is just over then. And it's like, but that's what this relationship was. It's always just been about sex. And, of course, in this episode, they have, like, a thing where, at the beginning of it, they reveal that, you know, Blitz says that Stolas has been giving him excuses to get out of their monthly deal. You know, like, because he's starting to feel bad about it. But Blitz doesn't know that. And that's the thing, they almost do it. They almost have that perspective of, like, yeah, Stolas knows, he's self-aware enough to know that this transactional relationship that they have is toxic and not good. And he wasn't, and he even says it. He says it in the episode. He says it to Blitz when he's confessing to him. That, like, yeah, I never realized until now that this relationship has been horrible. Like, especially since I didn't really consider how you feel about it. And he's right. But then he has the gall to be like, oh, you think this is all just about sex after I pour my heart out to you. I think it's just a roleplay thing. It's like, yeah, of course he does. And then when Blitz blows up at him, being like, yeah, all you royals are the same. You're like, you just think you can use us, and then when you're done with us, you just toss us aside and stuff like that. And then he, once again, Stolas is all like, oh, well, I can't believe you think so little of me. And I don't know, man. I'm like, you haven't given him that much of a reason to not think that way of you. And I think it's just because, like, I don't know, this whole episode is just gonna be me ranting about that, but because I got more to say. I don't know. I don't like it. It comes across as they're siding a little too much with Stolas here, because even Blitz was about to say I'm sorry. And it's like, well, I mean, from his perspective, he's in the right, though. Like, if this were better written, I feel like Stolas would probably agree with him. Or at least, you know, understand where he's coming from when he says this. Instead of being like, oh, I can't believe you would think of me this way. It's like, of course he freaking does. You did it. You did this. And I think the audience just assumes that, like, Blitz has these secret feelings for Stolas, even though the show has literally zero evidence of that. Like, throughout the entire show, every time Blitz talks about or talks to Stolas, he's like completely disgusted by him. There are no points where he's like, where they make it clear to the audience that he secretly does care about Stolas and likes him, you know? There's no scenes like that in the show. There's one where he's like, where Stolas has to go to the hospital, and he's like, wait, what? Stolas can get hurt? Like, he didn't even know, because he's like a royal demon and it takes a lot to damage a demon as powerful as Stolas. But that's more of like a concern because it's like, well, he genuinely didn't know that. And he's like, oh wow, he can get hurt? Like, you can say that might be him actually showing concern for Stolas. But then you remember, like, well, of course he's concerned, right? I mean, he's the source of that grimoire that, like, he needs for his business, right? I mean, he can't... If Stolas dies, what else is he gonna do? He can probably try and steal the grimoire permanently, but, you know, people are probably gonna be looking for it. If Stolas is dead, someone else has to take over whatever he does. Again, I don't remember. But, you know? And it's just like, it's just easier for him not to be dead, you know? But anyway, so sure, you can see that as like genuine concern for Stolas' well-being. But again, there has to be more than that. There has to be much more for me to believe that Blitz genuinely cares about him secretly. Because I just don't see it. You know, he literally even says to his face. Also, by the way, the whole, oh, you think this is all just about sex when I pour my feelings, pour out my feelings to you, and you think it's just about sex, therefore the relationship is just over then, I guess. It's like every single time, and I can't stress this enough, every single time Stolas talks to Blitz, it's in a flirtatious way. In a very, like, explicit flirtatious way. Not even just like a subtle way. Like, This man, this owl prince boy that everyone loves, he is very, like, sexually promiscuous towards Blitz every chance he gets. So, once again, of course, Blitz thinks that it's just a sex thing when he meets up with him and all that. It's like, yeah, of course he does. Every interaction with him, except, of course, actually, the Aussies episode, which I think, in my opinion, is the best episode of Helluva Boss. It still is, to this day, the best episode. Like, there's actually good writing in that episode. And the song isn't, like, I don't know, super cringe. Okay, I'm sorry. Not every episode has a cringe song. Not every song is cringe, okay? Not every song. But I personally don't really care for a lot of the songs in Helluva Boss. They're just like, whatever. But the song in that episode is great. Probably because it's the closest we'll get to like a villain song, kind of. And I always love villain songs, because they're the best songs, usually. And then they did a good job with that one. Even though, technically, the people singing the songs aren't villains, but like, that's what's kind of clever about it. They're like, they're acting antagonistic towards the main characters, therefore that song is more of a villain song. But the people singing aren't technically villains, they're not evil. Or whatever, they're not malicious. At least, you know. I mean, they're acting antagonistic, but they're not, like, doing anything evil in that song, but it makes sense. Anyway, so maybe I could talk about that episode another day, but because that one is really good. Really good episode. But back to this episode, this current episode, the full moon one, was I think it would have been much more satisfying if they had more of an argument. You know, like if they actually went back and forth a little bit. Like if Stolas is like, "Oh, I can't believe you see me that way," and then Blitz comes back with, "Of course I see that way." Like that's literally been our interactions. Like all of our interactions have just been flirtatious. You horribly flirtating, not flirtating. Oh my god. That's not a word. Flirting with me and me not really liking it. Or at least, I don't know, you know, not saying like that, but you know, redraft it a little bit. Clean it up, make it actually good dialogue instead of what I said. But the same idea applies. And then you can have Stolas now realize how his actions were making Blitz feel. Because again, like I said, they almost do it. They almost have that where he finally is seeing that this relationship they have is toxic and not cool at all. And he's like, wow, you know, I didn't, I should have been, I should have been thinking about how you feel, you know? Like, he says that, but like, they don't go far enough with it, you know? They don't like, it's like they put, they get, Stolas off the hook a little bit because of the way Blitz handles it, where he blows up at him. And I think the show and the writers are like, Stolas is completely in the right here. That's what it comes across as to me. I could be wrong, of course, but that's what it comes across as to me. And I just think that they needed more Because I do like that as like a dramatic thing for a show to have this kind of thing with their relationship being this toxic, but then, you know, one of them has feelings for the other, but the other one is just like, well, this is just a transactional thing. It's not real love or anything like that. And that's true. Like, that's just true. Like, their relationship is just transactional. And to have that particular drama of Stolas trying to be like, oh, let's actually kind of get out of that though now. Like, he wants more now, and Blitz is like, what? But this whole time, it was just a transactional thing. Like, I don't, you know, like, I wish there were a little bit more of that. The back and forth there. But he blows up at him, and then he's like, oh, I can't, you know, I didn't know you thought of me that way, and then teleports him away. But whatever. I also think they could have just cut out a lot of the, I don't know, the B plot? I don't even know. Like, the Stolas and Blitz thing kind of seems like the B plot in this episode, because a lot of the time is dedicated to the cherubs trying to get their revenge on the IMP team for getting them kicked out of heaven. I think they could have cut that a lot, like, cut it down a little bit so that they can actually have more of the Stolas / Blitz drama that they should have had. But they only scratched the surface of it. Of course, there's going to be more episodes, so maybe they'll get it more into it in the next episode, or in the upcoming episodes of the season, you know? Anyway, I just wish they did it a little better. Because the fan base is on the side of Stolas. Everybody loves Stolas. It's like, oh, he's a wholesome guy. But, like, I don't think you're being... I think you're being too nice to him. Which, again, I will say, is still, like, a good character. I want to see that. Like, I'm not saying that he's, like, a bad character specifically because he's doing this toxic... He's in this toxic relationship with Blitz. I don't think he's a bad character for that. But, like, he needs to be called out more a little bit for it. Because it is a really, really bad thing. And I don't think it's enough for him to just be like, yeah, but this was a bad thing. We shouldn't have done it. It was never bad. I mean, it was never good. I don't think that's enough. I think, I genuinely think that Blitz's, blow up at Stolas was completely justified. Again, from Blitz's perspective, it was justified. From the audience's perspective, we as the audience know that Stolas genuinely cares about him and is being genuine. And that's why everyone, when they see that part of the episode, I've watched the episode a couple times. I've also seen other people watch the episode just to get other people's reads on the situation. And I see them a lot being like, oh, Blitz, no. Like, just open up and let him in, you know? And it's like, he doesn't need to do that, okay? Like, why should he? Again, from his perspective, when he says, after everything you put me through, I mean, that hits pretty hard, by the way. Like, really reads as someone who's been like abused by this situation. And I mean, technically, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. He has felt like this transactional relationship has only been about sex, and that's all he was to Stolas. Again, from his perspective. So it's completely justified in him thinking that he wasn't being serious originally too. Like, this was all just a sex thing. It's just a roleplay scenario. It's like, of course he thought that. Like, that's what this was. But Stolas dismisses it, being like, oh, well, like, you just think it's about sex. And it's like, yeah, because you did. Okay, now I'm just repeating myself. But I'm trying to reiterate my point there. It's just a cycle, you know? It's a cycle of just, like, people thinking that, Stolas is in the right here. And I don't think he fully is. He's in the right a little bit for actually acknowledging the situation and how toxic it is, but I just don't think they go far enough. I think the show, hypothetically, not literally, the show isn't a sentient being, you know? I mean, like, the writers and people working on the show are a bit too forgiving of him, I think. Of course, after more episodes come out, there could be other things that come out that, you know, make everything that I'm saying here obsolete. And I'll gladly take it back if further episodes come out and they actually do the things that I want them to do, you know? Like, maybe in the next episode, Stolas realizes how much of a toxic relationship it really was for Blitz to just think that he was messing with him. Because I think, you know, because he doesn't really put that on himself. He is putting that on Blitz, being like, oh, you think this is just about sex, therefore the relationship is just over, whatever. But it's like, it's partially, or actually, it's mostly your fault for that. And I don't think he acknowledges it. He, like, drops it. He acknowledges that the sorry, I'm adjusting my chair. He acknowledges that the relationship was toxic, but that's it. Like, there's no other deeper conversation about it that I think they should have used. You know, I just think that they just forgave him too soon. And why would Blitz say I'm sorry? Like, it really sounded like he was about to say, Stolas, wait, I'm sorry, but he was teleported out. And I don't know. I don't buy that. Like, why would Blitz apologize? Like, he's in the right. Again, from his perspective. I gotta preface that, because a lot of people will hear that if they're a huge fan of the show, being like, well, he's not, though, because Stolas can genuinely care about him. It's like, but Blitz doesn't know that. Blitz, from his perspective, this entire relationship has just been a transactional thing. And every single time he talks about or to Stolas, like I said before, he's been disgusted by him. He doesn't like Stolas at all, and they don't make it clear enough. If they were trying to get across the idea that Blitz secretly has feelings for Stolas, they don't make it clear at all. And they they even have like and the thing is that I'm not even like opposed to the idea that these two characters can end up together. because I think they could. I just want the drama first. I want them to, like... I think it's a more interesting idea where they realize that they're both a little bit, at least a little bit, in the wrong. That's... that's what I loved about the Ozzy's episode. Like, both of them are kind of doing something wrong here. Blitz invited Stolas out to Ozzy's because he was just trying to... Oh. Uh-oh. I've been talking so long the screen dimmed. Oh no. This whole episode is just going to be me ranting about this. But that's fine. It's my channel. I can do what I want. Whatever. Anyway, in that episode... they're both doing something wrong here. They're like... or at least, you know, Blitz is doing something wrong because he wants to stalk Millie and Moxie when they're going out for their anniversary. And in order to get into Ozzy's, which is where they went, he needs a date. So he gets Stolas. And that's all he's using Stolas for. He is using Stolas in this episode. In the Ozzy's episode. So he's in the wrong for that. And, you know, obviously stalking Millie and Moxie is also wrong. But, and Stolas goes along with it. And like I said before, Stolas is the one who proposed this, like, relationship to be this transactional one, which is not a good relationship to have. If you want it to be more than that, this is not the way to do it, you know? And Stolas is trying to pretend like everything's alright. Like, we're just, oh yeah, we're just going out for a date and it's gonna be wonderful, and but it's not alright though. Nothing's alright. Their relationship is a fraud. It's fake. It's not real. You know? It's not a real relationship. It's just a transactional sex thing. And that's what I loved about that episode. The Stolas is like pretending that it's something more when it really isn't. And then after during the song, they notice that Stolas is on a date with Blitz, and he's like, wow, are you sleeping with an imp? That's like one of the lyrics. Which is like a shameful thing for royalty to be dating an imp. You know, an imp. Imps are like the lowest of the low in hell. On the hierarchy of hell. And there's a part where you know, they're singing to Stolas now and like making fun of him a little bit for dating an imp. And genuinely, by the way, like, again, the reason why I like the song and the episode, the writing is good. They call out the fact that you had like a wife and a kid, and now you're throwing that away for this affair that you went on. The lyric is literally, you sold your life for a thrust, which, by the way, again, it's just great. Again, I gotta talk about that episode in a future video, because that episode is so good. But anyway, so when he says you sold your life for a thrust, which is a great line, he covers up his face with his menu, Stolas does. Like, because he's embarrassed by everything that's going on. And Blitz sees this. He, like, and feels bad about it. And it highlights that his fears, basically, of being in a relationship where the other person doesn't actually like him, or they're gonna leave him, or, you know, they're ashamed of him. In this case, Stolas is very clearly ashamed in this scene. And it's just, it's heartbreaking. And then that episode ends with them trying to, like, you know, he drives Stolas back home, even though he could just teleport back. He teleported to the place, but I don't know. It's more of just like a thing. It's like a courtesy thing, like, yeah, I'll drive you home. And Stolas tries to, like, be nice about it. He tries to get him to come inside. You know, it's like, oh, you can come in, like, and again, even in this scene, Blitz automatically assumes that he means for sex. And it's like, I can't do this tonight. Not tonight. You know, like, and then Stolas is like, well, we don't have to do that. We can just, you know, watch a movie or cuddle. You know, just do normal stuff. You don't have to, you know, we don't have to have sex. And his and Blitz's blow up there too. It's completely justified in what he says. He basically is like, don't act like what we have is anything other than just sex. And that's it. And then, you know, he drives away. Back to his home. And it's like, again, totally justified. Like 100% justified for him to say that. Because that's what their relationship is. And I thought that's where the direction they were going in. But then the next episode, or the next, not the next episode, but like the episode after the next one, I think, they go into like the idea that Stolas and Blitz met each other when they were children and they were like friends, at least for that one day. I don't know if they met up after that, but yeah, I did not like that at all. I think it would be so much more interesting if Stolas as a character met Blitz as an adult and was like, alright, I want some of that, and it was just an attraction at first. That's why he did this transactional deal that they have. It's just like, at first, it was just about sex, and that's it. And then, as they grew to know each other more, Stolas actually caught real, genuine feelings, and is now faced with that dilemma of like, well, is what I'm doing, like, good? Like, this deal that we have? You know? Like, that's interesting. And then he has to deal with that and, like, you know, atone for it. He doesn't have to atone for it if the story doesn't go that way, I guess. But, and my point is that, like, in the actual show, it's definitely more on the side of Stolas being like, oh, he's just a wholesome boy, you know, he just wants a caring relationship, and it's like they fluff it up a bit too much, and so do the audience, the fans who love shipping these two characters together. I just don't hear them mention how bad the relationship is. Like, the relationship is very toxic. If Stolas wants genuine companionship and stuff, and like genuine romance and stuff, this is not the way to do it. You know? And I wish they were just a bit too, you know, a bit more harsh on this character. Like, he needs to really focus on that kind of thing, I guess. I don't know if I'm making sense here. Like, I just think they could have done it in a better way. Because from what I've seen from this episode and like every other episode, it seems to me like they're more on Stolas's side. Like they're a bit too forgiving of what he did. They need to be more harsh to this character. Like in the writing, like he needs to. Well, I don't know. I'm not even saying he needs horrible things to happen to him or anything like that. I'm just saying like there needs to be more. There needs to be more like him trying to atone for this, and then Blitz like, I don't know, sharing his feelings more, or at least, you know, trying to the best of his ability, because he doesn't really do that. Even in this episode, he was like, yeah, everything's just normal. We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna have sex, and then that's it. And then we're not gonna get too complicated with our feelings. Obviously, that's not what happened in the episode, but yeah, I just think they could have done better if they only had more time in the episode. You know, cut down on the cherub stuff, because I don't think it really mattered. Like the cherub stuff, them working with the dorks, the acronym for the, I forgot what every letter stood for, but they're like a demon hunting agency. Those two working together, those two groups working together. Yeah, I just don't think that they needed that much. You know, they could have cut that down a little bit. It didn't really amount to anything. Like they could have just, they technically could have cut that whole plot out by the end. Nothing really changes, you know? Except now the cherubs have worked with the agents, so we don't even know if they're gonna keep working together. We'd have to wait for a future episode for that. But, you know, it established that they're now working together to kill the IMP team. So yeah, I think they could have cut that. At least cut it down. You know, they didn't have to go that much. Focus more on the Stolas and Blitz stuff. Even if you save that argument that they have at the end, you could still do that. But like, I would have liked more of them. They're like contrasting perspectives throughout the episode. Like you cut from Blitz to Stolas, and they, you know, we're seeing more of their perspective on things. And you would have a little bit more time for that ending blow up, you know, for them to actually have a genuine argument. Because I think that's what was lacking here. They needed, like, really argue about what's going on. Like, literally, I forgot to mention this before, but when I was talking about how Blitz sees Stolas, he's like, he hates it. He hates this relationship that they have. He hates having sex with him. Which goes against, you know, everyone saying that, oh, he secretly likes him though. He just doesn't want to open himself up to be hurt again, you know? Like, and that's true. But he also hates Stolas. He also hates this relationship that they have. In quotes. Relationship in quotes. That they have. And in the episode where those secret agents are introduced in Season 1, they get this, like, truth gas that they leak into the room, which doesn't make sense at all, because it's like, it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't give them the truth. Like, the agents are just sitting there while Blitz and Moxie are, like, zonked out of their brains. Like, they're just tied to chairs, like, passed out. and they have like psychedelic visions of their true feelings and thoughts and their psyche and stuff. But the agents don't see that. So they're just watching these two imps being brain dead in chairs, like tied to chairs. And it's like, what are you actually getting out of this? Like, you know, it's literally just a narrative thing. It's just a way for the audience to see these characters' psyches and see what they're all about. But the agents aren't gaining anything from doing this gax. Like, it seems like what they're doing is that they're gonna get the truth out of these imps by seeping the gas into the room that they're in. And then they're gonna, like, you know, be forced to tell them the truth or something. Like it's a truth serum or something. But it just doesn't do that. It just it makes them hallucinate what they're feeling, their true feelings and like stuff like that. And the agents don't get anything out of it, so it's just like, I don't know what they were planning on doing there. But anyway, so during this vision that Blitz has, he has, there's a part where Stolas shows up in the vision, and we, as the audience, get to see how he views Stolas in his own psyche. And it's not a very flattering depiction of Stolas. It's like he's on this throne atop this staircase, and Blitz is like crawling up the staircase, and he has like a chain. He like gets collared and like has a chain around it. It's very, you know, it's a very like sexual kind of vision, but it's also very like, it's very clear that Blitz sees his relationship to Stolas as like a prisoner. He is a prisoner in this relationship because of, you know, if he doesn't uphold his end of the bargain, then he doesn't have a job. His company just is no longer viable, you know? He can't do his job. So he sees his relationship as like a prisoner thing. Like Stolas is the one who's in charge, and he is a prisoner of that, of the transactional thing that they have going on. And he's not happy about it. So I think they need to go more in that direction of Blitz being validated, I guess, in his like feelings and you know, his disdain for that relationship. I just don't think they get into it as much. Again, this could happen in a future episode. We'll see. But anyway, that was my huge rant on Helluva Boss, the new episode. I'll still keep watching. I do like the show, even though there's a lot of problems with it. There's a lot of writing issues that I have. And even then the story is going in a direction I don't quite like. But I'll still watch it because it's free on YouTube, and I am interested. I am still interested in what comes next, you know? I'm still interested in what happens next. And to see if I'm proven wrong. Because I want to be proven wrong. I want them to actually go more into this. So instead of just being all negative, let me end my rant. Let me end my rant with something positive, with some positives that I liked about the episode. There were some funny moments. I liked some of the jokes. When they show the cherubs the high-tech suits that they have, that they were gonna they have like a the secret agents, I mean, they have these like suits that you can wear that that the cherubs are gonna wear when they go into hell. They opened up a portal to hell. They figured out how to open a portal, but it's a very small portal that only like children can can go through. Like child-sized people can go through. And that was also a pretty funny joke. They actually sent children in. It was a very dark joke because they immediately die. But anyway. So they're showing the suits, and they're supposed to be like camouflage suits. So each one looks like one of the IMP members. One of them looks like Stolas, or not Stolas, Blitz. One of them looks like Moxie, and one of them looks like Millie. And then there's a fourth one that looks like Luna, who is the wolf girl. And for her suit, it's just a fursuit, like a furry would wear it. A suit that a furry would wear. Like the other ones are like clearly armor, you know, like with high-tech weaponry on it, on them and stuff. And for Luna, they just had just a regular fursuit. Like, that was funny. And then the guy tries to go with them, you know, wearing the Luna fursuit, but he can't fit, so he can't go with them. Like, it's a funny episode. There are some good gags in here. And also, oh my god, the colors. I love it when they go to the lust ring, because there's a lot of like the lust ring of hell. There's like different layers of hell, obviously. That's a whole thing. When they go to the lust ring, it's a lot of like the atmosphere of that particular ring is like a night, like a city nighttime kind of thing. Like the vibes of when you go into a big city with skyscrapers and like neon signs everywhere. It's like a like a nighttime city landscape. No, that's a different thing. And I think I love it. Aesthetically, I think that's very pleasing to look at. And the colors are bright and vibrant. Just when like Moxie he's like in the in an alleyway and he walks out of it. And just that scene alone is like that shot of him walking out of into the lights and stuff. It looks beautiful. The colors look beautiful in this show. It's great, especially when their eyes are glowing and stuff, and it's like it just looks really good. The same thing happens at the end of the episode where Blitz has his blow up at Stolas. And you know, just the colors of Blitz and his glowing eyes and like the light coming from the windows and stuff, it just looks beautiful. And of course, like speaking of the blow up, like I said before, Blitz has this big blow up at the end, which it's just beautifully acted by Brendan Rogers. He did a really good job. Because I truly believed him. I believe that he was very upset. You know? He did a really good job. I don't know. That's about it. Those are the positives I have for that episode, honestly. But, you know. So yeah, that was my super long rant on that show, and there's more. There's probably more that I could talk about. Like I said, I should definitely talk about the Ozzy's episode at some point. Because that episode was really good, genuinely. Like, pretty much all the way through. Anyway, let's continue on the game, shall we? I didn't really make a lot of progress in this episode just because I had to talk about that. Anyway, don't eat me. Huh? You didn't come to eat me? And you're not bullies? Of course not. Guess again, nerd. No, of course not. For real? Phew. Boy, that's good. I thought for a second I might have an accident. You're one of the creatures from Bogley Woods, right? What are you doing here? But what? Why do you know about me? No, you must be... You guys are working for those X-Knots, aren't you? You chased me here. No, it's the end. X-Knots? Easy there, kid. What in the world are you freaking out about? We're not gonna do anything to you, just so chill for a second. Just tell us what's going on. Well, okay. This gang of bad guys who call themselves X-Knots came in to where I live. They come inside our great tree. They came inside. My god. They came inside our great tree and started tearing it apart and causing trouble. So I've come all the way here looking for help. Mario, that sounds like those guys who attacked us in Rogueport, right? If they're the same guys, then they're definitely after the Crystal Star. Now that you mention it, they did say something about some Crystal Star thingy. But we punies don't know anything about any crystals or stars. Say, could you guys help us out? Maybe chase them off? If you do, we'll give you, what was it? The Crystal Star? If you do, we'll have the puny elder give you that. I don't know what it is, but if it'll help us reclaim our tree, I'm sure the elder will agree. So what do you say? Let's not waste any more time. I'm begging you. It's like he knew. He heard my entire rant about Helluva Boss, and he's like, let's not waste any more time. I'm begging you. Let's progress through the game, please. Really? You aren't joking? You'll do it? I guess. I mean, we can't just ignore them, right? Oh, she said that. I mean, we can't just ignore them, right? And we do need to find the Crystal Star before those X-whatever guys do. Oh, thank you so much. This is great. I'm so happy. My name is Punio. Pleased to meet you. I'll take you to where I live. Follow me, okay? It's this way. I'm probably gonna end soon, but I think I'm gonna continue playing for just a little bit more, just so that way I can make a little bit of progress, you know? And I apologize. I could have been making... Yeah, he found a switch, basically, is what happened. He found a secret switch so that we can get in there. But you can go this way. It's a secret. You get a badge. You got a dodge badge. Boosts defense by 1. The successful guard action command. Ooh. See, like, that's very helpful. Let's see if I can equip it. How many badge points? It's 2. I don't know. For now, I'll take this off. I think, what's this? Ooh. That's pretty crazy. Again, I don't think these stack, so I'm not gonna equip that one. I'm gonna equip that, just, you know, it might give us more protection. We can successfully guard. We can get at least one more protection, which can be pretty useful. And I forgot what I was saying before all of that. Oh, right. Anyway, you can get to the woods we punies live in by going through that pipe there. Okay, hurry, hurry. So here we go. Yes, we finally started Chapter 2, The Great Boggly Tree. Wow. And this level is so beautiful, by the way. Look at the colors. It's so good on the ground. But the trees and the flowers all white and black. I did not read that. I don't get, no, okay. Okay, she just said it was beautiful here. I'm pretty sure. Okay, just a bit further, and we should be able to see the great tree. The elder and her friends are waiting for us there. Oh, and my little sister too. Come on, let's go. Place is great. So yeah, I'm just saying, I'm sorry I had to pause, because that's just how my brain works, okay? If I were to keep playing without pause, now see, like, a scene like this will happen, and I'll just continue on. I'll get distracted easily. I definitely get distracted easily when it comes to this stuff. So I'm going to be paying attention to... It's been happening throughout this series, by the way. Throughout pretty much every one of these series. Like when I'm in a fight with enemies, I'm paying attention to what I'm doing there, so it's hard for me to keep track of what I'm talking about at the same time, you know? So I had to I had to just pause for a little bit, you know? So that I can go on my rant. If I didn't do that, I would have gone through a lot of this episode of this channel here, this part, still trying to keep my thoughts together and keep my train of thought on the rails, you know? Yeah. So anyway, I don't remember the exact voice I gave her, but that's fine. That's fine. Time to go to work, lovelies. Vivian, you understand what we've got to do, yes? A, find that Mario guy, and B, steal the map to the Crystal Stars, right? We could just do away with Mario and his friends, can't we? Or is that bad? Oh, bad things happen all the time, Vivian. But you're right about our goals. If my information is correct, Mario should be coming down this road quite soon. You must ambush him here and get that map. What's this now? Vivian, what's that you're fawning over out there? Oh, you mean this? I found it near that tree over there a while back. Isn't it a gorgeous necklace? It was so lovely, I just had to pick it up. Vivian, for shame! Picking up someone's scraps, disgusting, greedy. But enough about that. Vivian, my dear pack rat. And sorry if I peek the mic, I keep doing that. I'm trying not to. Maybe I shouldn't stay too close to it. Bring out the sketch of that Mario guy that you got from Grotus. Eep! But what? I don't have that. You said it was way too important, so you took it. You should have it. Don't be ridiculous. I don't have that thing. You were in charge of it. You wretched little worm, blaming me for something you probably screwed up. But I... Oh? I don't know what they're fighting about. I'm just gonna walk on by. Go! Go! Oh, what is it, Marilyn? Huh? What's that? A mustachioed fellow? This is no time for such nonsense. You great oaf. Save your games for later. Now, where was I? You! Vivian! Don't tell me you lost our precious sketch! But listen, look, it's not my fault. I never had the sketch. Silence, you dits! Oof. Such impudence. How dare you talk back to me like some rebellious child? It's clear to me that the only rationale you understand is force. For your punishment, I'll be taking that necklace you just found. Yes, so sorry. I don't think she's sorry, guys. I don't think she's really sorry. But Beldan. Oh, you're horrid. Oof. Let's not get involved in that. Yeah. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Oh, what am I to do? What is it, Mr. Mustache? Leave us. Scram. Right now. I have no business with you. They're so stupid. Go. Go? Like, alright. They just don't know. This shady woman is certainly selfish and mean. I mean, what a total meanie. You see how cruel she is to her own sister? I wonder what went on between them. I guess that's the middle sister. She seems like the strong, silent type to me. I can't get a good read on this girl at all. This is the youngest sister of the three. The oldest one really picks on her, huh? I don't know whose picture they're talking about, but but you think she really lost it? Yeah, so because they don't know. Yeah, I should be hammering the stuff. Did I hammer the trees over here? Or I don't think there are any trees that I'm able to... Yeah, there's none. There's none here. Oh well. So yeah, because they don't know what Mario looks like, they just let him pass through. Oops. Oh, come on. That was dumb. I thought I hammered him. Ugh, whatever. This is when the piercing badge would be really good to use, I think. You know, if I have it. That's a cleft. A rock-head jerk with spikes on its noggin. What a rocker. Max HP is 2, attack is 2, and defense is 2. That hard head is a major pain. So normal hammer attacks isn't going to work, because that does 2 damage and his defense is 2. So it's just going to end up being, it's going to result in 0 damage to him. Fire doesn't hurt it, but other types of items are pretty effective usually. If nothing seems to work on it, you can always just run. But that's for cowards, Goombella. Oh, lucky. Good. Thank you for that. Ooh, that's good. That's an item. Give it to me. Yes. Let's do this one more time. And that's supposed to double damage, so that should be 4, but his defense is 2, so it does just 2 damage. Let's see. Hang on. This one does, all right, piercing blow. That's 2 FP. This one is also 2 FP. So it doesn't really matter which one you do, I guess. And they're both 1 BP. So they cost the same and they do about the same amount of damage. Because if I were to use piercing blow, which deals damage that ignores an enemy's defense, which is good, but so I would be doing just normal damage on him with the hammer, which would just be 2 at this point. So it really doesn't matter which one you pick in this scenario. So I'll just keep this one on. They cost the same amount of FP to use, so it doesn't matter. Tattle him. That's a pale piranha. You know about these guys, the famous piranha plants? This colorless subspecies is adopted to Bogley Woods. Ah, the wonders of nature. Max HP is 4, attack is 2, and defense is 0. If you try to jump on them, they'll totally chomp on you. So you can't jump on them, unfortunately. Okay. Tried to guard that, but whoops. Yeah, I'm just gonna just smash him with the hammer. And I think I could swap, but it's gonna take a turn. I'll defend. And by that point, I'm just gonna already end the fight. There you go, 0. That's awesome. I think he would have done at least 1 damage to me, but I have the badge equipped, so it did 0. Very helpful. Oh yeah. What? Gotta be careful with these guys. They just end up. Oh god. This is better than them getting a first strike, you know? Okay, now I could have put it in there. You know what? I'm gonna try out my new move. My new special move. Earth Tremor. See if I can actually time this right. I need total and utter silence. Come on. Oh god. No, I was so close. I think that was the last one, but it's fine. That was a lot. That was a lot of damage. That was a lot of damage. Got one piece there. Great stuff. Alright. I actually did a lot better than I thought I would. I thought I was gonna get bad results with that. Wait, what? Oh, I forgot he was even there. I was like, wait, because he's covered with the flowers. There. Can you see it? That big tree. That's what I was telling you about. What? That's where we punies live. That's home. Of course, it's not just us in the tree. Lots of jabbies and piters too. Well, anyway, Mario, follow me. In coupon. Oh no, I can't carry any more items. Oof. Just for now, I'm gonna use one of the mushrooms. I love that too. That's a new feature. You can just use the items if you've you know, if you're at max capacity with your item storage, they let you actually use one of your items instead of just throwing it away. Because that was a problem. That was a problem with the original. It was a slight problem. When you get a new item and it's like, oh, you're full, you have to throw one away. So you can do that, but then you can be like, well, but I want that item, so now I have to go back in the menu and use the item. Use one of my items, and then I can, or throw one away. Alright, I guess I could, I could have done that. Whatever. If you want to use your item, though, you have to throw away the one that you just got, and then use an item, and then pick up the item again. It's just much easier to be like... Oh, also, this guy being here is also new. He still doesn't have the thing that I want. Oh well. Done shopping, my man? Okay. Let's just go to the boggly tree. The boggly tree. I don't know what that was with my voice there. I've been speaking for too long. My god. I've been going for almost 2 hours. Oh my god. I've been trying to make this, make the episodes a lot shorter. At least over an hour, you know? Over just a little bit over an hour. But I wanted to, like, actually make progress in this episode, so that's why it's a bit longer. Oh, I'll end it soon, though. Maybe after this discussion here. Well, take a look. This door wasn't here before. Someone just installed it. And I can't open it. I thought I could finally save everyone. I'm a fool. Oh, quit being melodramatic. Although, it does look thick. What are we gonna do now? Got it. Mario, come over here, over here. Oh. That's an interesting sound when they walk. I like it. I think it's cute. Is there anything back here? No. You gotta check places, you know? You never know what you'll find. Long ago, the puny elder told me about a secret entrance somewhere around here. We'll get in that way. Problem is, I doubt finding it is going to be easy. I mean, it won't be labeled secret entrance. How are we supposed to... Hang on. Okay. How are we supposed to find a secret entrance? It's secret for a reason, you know? Well, it's hidden by this invisible thingy. We need to find and remove the thingy. Boy. But removing a normal thingy sounds tough enough, let alone an invisible one. Oh, got it. Flurry. Surely Madame Flurry's powers can help us? Who? Flurry is a refined and dignified lady who lives in these woods. The elder says she's a wind spirit who can wield the powers of the air with ease. You see where I'm going with this? She can use wind powers. Wait, she can use her use wind power to blow the thingy away. Well, it won't hurt to try. Flurry lives in the deepest corner of the woods, so let's head back in the direction we came from. Uh-oh. I don't know what kind of voice I'm gonna give her. I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna preface whatever I come up with here. I'm gonna just say I'm sorry. Ah, these woods are... Oh god, I already hate it. These woods are the most wonderful in all the world. Yes, indeed. Building a house here was just the finest idea I ever did have. Oh my, yes. This is the worst already. I apologize again. This place is so different from the bright flash bulbs of the world I'm used to. Such peace, this negative image of the real world soothes my body and soul. But what's even better is that I, Madame Flurry, grow ever more lovely here. Plus those squishy, adorable little punies that live in that tree are so nice to me. But I suppose if I stay here too long, I'll begin to crave hustle and bustle before long. Oh my. It's happening, even as I speak. Already I feel the need for drama. That moment of exhilaration when the spotlight shines down on the stage. On me. Surely I was born to be an actress for the ages. It's settled then. I shall rise again. But before I make my stage comeback, I simply must whip up my body and mind into shape. Whip my body and mind into shape. I'll just have to put on some makeup and make my beauty even more beautiful. Wait a moment. Oh no. No! It's gone! Gone, I tell you! My... So I'm trying not to be too loud, I can't yell. I think I've been speaking too long. My voice is getting weird. Gotta drink more water. If we head east from here, we'll see Flurry's place in no time. Alright, so I'm just gonna go through here and yeah, okay. Actually, I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go back to see if there's a save point. Okay. I think there's a save point here. Oh, I guess not. Oh well. That's fine, that's fine. I'll just leave it on this so that the next time I record. I'm playing this on the Switch so I could just, you know, I don't have to close out the application. So yeah, that's we at least started things off in this chapter, you know? We can at least start things up. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. Until next time, goodbye.